Hello everyone, good morning from here, and today I would like to share with you this information that called working with anger. I'm very happy that I have this opportunity to share with you, because it is very important, as you know, that to know the anger and how to deal with anger emotion, either for yourself or others. And because this very much distract and destructive or destroys either individuals' life or communities or nations or whole world, destroys by anger. Not just these days, and generation after generation. So it is time to do and to learn how to deal with that, how to work with the anger. So I have some information that I have been practiced for myself, and also I have been teaching this in different places or different countries. So now, first, I would like to talk about a little bit of nature of the anger, what it does to us, or where it comes from, or the nature of anger, basically. So now, anger has, I think, very important. There's two types of anger. We call the hot anger and cold anger. The hot anger is like a fire, and cold anger is like ice. The colors of them are different. One is hot anger is red, and cold anger is like a blue or gray color. So I'm going to explain what are they look like. So hot anger is like a fire, like a forest fire, burns everything, all good things. So hot anger is like a wow, like a coming out, like a fire, burns. So fire, natural fire can't stay in, just coming out. So scream, yelling, scream, shaking, and things like that. It's just coming out. The energy is coming out. So that is hot anger. And the person, if you look at the person in hot anger, in the sweating or red face, and so much blood coming out, but from the whole your body, bring way up, very powerful. The anger is coming up in your brain, whole your head is full of blood. Do we call the wind, the ears bring way up, pushing up. So everything what you seeing also red, if you're aware of that. But most of the time we don't aware, because our mind is so much full of the confused. The mind destroys. So therefore, you don't aware what you're saying, what you're doing, what what they're saying, what their feelings. You don't know. There's no awareness, lack of awareness. So, but if you're aware, everything is red. The hot anger. Okay, I'm going to short. So the hot anger is something like that, hot and like a fire, burns everything. That's I'm going to talk to you a little bit about burning. Meaning is burning your health, burning your innocent energy, and burning your relationships, that who you love very much and care, burnt, no longer there. You're burning every time you anger. So anyway, that's the fire, the hot anger. Cold anger is like ice, a frozen ice. So often people, some people you can see that anger, they want to tell, doesn't come out, but frozen, holding inside. They may talk, they may not talk anything, nothing, just holding inside like a frozen. If you look at that person, the person is like a cold, really cold, and like an ice, and face even blue or gray. And the energy beside that person, if you look beside that, you feel like a frozen, very cold. So that is a cold anger. And even often we call, I kept my cool, stay, hold. So it depends, different people. Some people have hot anger always coming out. Some people have cold anger always holding inside. Either is disturbing. So anyway, that's the two types of anger. And then now the anger destroys so many things, but comes down three. One is the mind, body, and spirit. So mind, every time you anger, as I mentioned, you destroy your mind. Your mind, maybe, for example, before you anger or upset, maybe your mind is very clear and very peace. But then when you're angry, you're confused. Your body, the function of your mind is no longer balanced. It's no longer clear. The judgments of your mind are no longer clear, because so much it destroys and damages by anger. That's the way it destroys your mind. Peace and clear of your mind. And then for the body, so every time you're angry, you destroy your body. Like even medical, people have high blood pressures, heart attack, or many diseases, even cancer. I believe most of them is caused by anger or resentment or whatever anger you're holding again and again, and that's why one day you got sick. And for example, this is just to give you an idea. For example, let's say you have a pure water. This is very pure water inside, fresh. So every time you anger, you're bleeding in the water. Again you anger, bleeding inside. Again, every time you anger, slowly the pure water becomes bloody. So same thing. Every time you anger, you destroy your pure health, your body, or poisoning. Okay, so that's the way the destroys your health, your body, the anger, by anger. I'm not saying one time you anger destroy everything. One time you anger, like a bleeding, you pollute your pure health every time you anger. So then eventually that's how you become sick. Then the third thing, spirit. That destroys the spirit by anger. So spirit meaning is your energy by anger, or your personality, or who you are, or your reputation, everything around you, you destroys. For example, often I give for example. Let's say you spend time with somebody for 10 days. All those 10 days, 24 hours, you're very nice, you're polite, you're very everything easygoing, kindness, gentleness, all the things good. But in the 10 days, in one day, for just maybe 5 minutes, you're really angry, either hot anger or cold anger to that person, being with that person for 10 days. Only 5 minutes. But the rest, you're very nice. All your good quality showed of energy. But 5 minutes, you have negative energy, which is anger. Then later, after that 10 days, then you go away, and then somebody asks that person, say, what do you think the person? And then when the person say, right away thinking the anger comes up. Not all good things you have been. All those 5 minutes of anger comes up, say, oh, he or she is very angry person. That's how negative, how powerful it is, and destroys the spirit. All good spirit, by 5 minutes, destroys. So that's kind of energy, the spirit that destroys by anger. Okay, so I want you to be aware those three that are damaging mainly, either yourself or others. Particularly for yourself, mainly. Okay, so and now, then that's one thing. Another thing, the anger doesn't just come like this. Anger has process. So there's process is 3 or 4 different process. The first is called impatient. Second is irritation, and then tantrum, and then anger, and then rage. So those 3 process takes maybe hour, takes maybe year, or day or week or month, doesn't matter. But they takes process, or 1 minute, or a few seconds. But always remember, first you're impatient, and then irritation, and then tantrum, and then anger, and then rage. Rage, then now you have no control anymore. So before you get there, you can be aware and then working with that. Okay, that's number one. Then another thing is also remember that anger is not to come from outside, somewhere else. Always remember, anger is to come from inside you, within your mind. We're often thinking we're blaming and complaining or blaming somebody else, and that's the anger comes from whoever did or caused something, and that's why we anger. But actually, really anger is within you. Okay, so that's the one thing I think is very important to remember. And also that every time anger, there's a cause and the conditions. The cause and the conditions are also again 3. Could it be fear? That's why you're angry, because of fear. Something you may be losing something, or maybe you getting something that you don't like it. Whatever, something, fear, or attachment, or expectation. So basically those, when your expectation doesn't meet, that's why you're angry. Or you're angry because you're attached. Not necessarily meant that, whatever it is, but your ego attachment. So it comes down 3: fear, expectation, and attachment. Those are the conditions of that cause condition. That's how anger in your mind comes from your mind, remains in your mind, and also goes back into your mind, basically. We don't aware that. Okay. So those the all the nature of anger and what does to us with anger. Okay, types or the colors, things like that. Now I would like to focus then. Now we know how much it destroys by anger. So what can I do, either for myself or for others? So there's different methods I would like to share with you that I have been practiced for myself. Number one, step one, awareness or acknowledgement. Every time you're feeling anger, be aware. I'm aware. I know that I'm upset. I feel hurt. I feel angry. I feel resentment. Whatever you feel, be aware. Don't ignore it. Most time there is a feeling, by the way, ignored and I try to avoid. It doesn't work. Number one, I'm aware. I acknowledge that I'm upset, angry. Sometimes you can say that. Sometimes you feel aware that. And then that step one, even during or before, even the process of irritation, tantrum, all those kind, as soon as possible to be aware. Number one, be aware, acknowledge. And number two, step two, to avoid the object of anger, not the avoid from the feeling of anger, but the object of anger. For example, if you're angry at somebody, if you're angry at this person, what you have to do is, usually what we do is, this person angry at this person, and this person thinking always this person, what this person did, said, blah, 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 and then keep doing thinking, getting worse, tantrum, and all the never ending. So what you have to do is, first, I'm aware that I feel angry at this person. Now, what to do? Number two, avoid thinking this person. For example, instead this person that you most love, or most cheering, or most your role model, whatever the person. For example, just this. For example, you're thinking this person instead that, and then what happened is spontaneously you're more transformed in your mind of this person's loving compassion, whatever you have. And that's the way, only way. But what the problem is, when you try to think about again pulling back, say this person did, but what you have to do is again aware. You're going there, avoid, try to avoid and focusing this person as much as you can. And then you unify, you transform into this person instead of this person. Just this, for example. But you can do, what you do is, we call the first awareness, second mindfulness. Mindfulness meaning is focus something else instead the object of anger. So focus at anything, can be anything. Like it can be breath. If I'm angry at this person, try aware, and now what I'm trying to do is focusing my breath. Breathing in, out. Maybe 1 minute or 5 seconds, whatever. You can maybe counting the breath. You may say, oh, I don't have time, but you have. Instead, spend time with the person who you're angry at. So, focus. Transforms your mind into more peaceful and unified with the breath. Or you can focus maybe like a puppy dog. You can visualizing puppy dog. Or if you're a spiritual person, maybe Buddha of compassion. Or who you, as I said, who you love. Focusing that most good things. Or listening music, playing music and listening. Try to listening. Focusing with that. Mindfulness. Focus with that. Being with that as much as I can. But even pulling back and try to aware and then focus that. Or many people told me to recite mantras. Like even when you're driving, somebody cut in front of you, and sometimes people yelling, scream, things like that. Instead, you're aware first, and then mantra. Oh, Amma Madame Sarando, Madame Sarando, Madame Sarando, Madame Sarando. Then you're becoming mantra. Or Shepchama mantra. Reciting 20 times, 21 times, or 5 times. Things like that. So your body, everything around you, transforming more compassion or peace instead anger. Okay, that is also methods kind. There's many different, or jogging, or walking. That's the one way. And the other thing, another thing I think very important to remember to do is when you the upset or anger, sometimes you have to say somebody, I'm upset, I'm angry, I feel anger, I feel upset, I feel resentment. Instead of say nothing and hold the inside. It's because in our society, if somebody angry or get angry, and then we judging, oh, that terrible person. If you sharing that you're upset, angry, and then oh, you have that problem. We all have problem. This anger, but we try not sharing, not talk. Even you feel. More you hiding inside doesn't go anywhere, getting worse. So really needed to help is to talk. This is what I have problem, and somebody you trust, or just somebody to share. This is my feeling. More you talk, and more coming out, more become free, more become comfortable. Not necessarily right away, but maybe a week after, month after, year, you talk more and more people, more you talk, and getting better and better. So like, many places these days, the people are rage because so much stress, either in the high schools, colleges, or communities, people shooting guns, they rage. Because they rage, because nobody talk, nobody listened. So then what happened is then they're keeping inside and wounded and then explode. So before we get there, we can help. You can help for yourself. That's the things. You can help for yourself in order to help for others. That's the thing, really, really important. If you can help yourself and medicate yourself, and when you get over and healing and peace, and then you don't have to try to help others. You automatically help around you. Most of your loved ones, your family, your partners. If you are peace, no more anger or hurt, destroying in your mind, your peace of your love and mind, and then around you spontaneously more peace and happy get from your energy. But if you are inside you're angry and try to help, doesn't work. Okay, so that's the one thing I think very important to be aware, acknowledge, or say somebody, I'm frustrated. Or sometimes say yourself, I know, feel upset. I really do right now. I want to take care of myself. What can I do? Breathing, meditate, listen to the music, or go to near ocean. One is emergency, right away you have to do something. One long term. There's two different also anger. One is a very temporal kind, and one is a very wounded old anger holding inside. So either whatever, so you have to work differently. Okay? So now, one thing I often saying, you can, this is how you use the methods. Every time you're angry, you need an antidote. The antidote of anger is called zopa. Z-O-P-A. Zopa. Zopa literally translation is patient. So sometimes patience doesn't mean that also people misunderstanding. Patience from the anger meaning is if you're upset, be patient meaning is even inside you irritate, tension inside anger, like a cold anger you're holding inside. And you say, I didn't react anything, so that means you're patient. People often think, but that's not really patience. Patience is completely free from the emotion and feeling. Be patient. Meaning is fully, whatever. You know, people say whatever. Doesn't mean whatever is with the anger. Whatever you're saying, I don't have to accept. Okay, so things like that. So even though you just remember, if you can remember, say zopa. Just say every time you're angry, say zopa, zopa, zopa. Meaning is remember zopa. Be patient. Be patient. Don't react. React, not necessarily the word or acting. React of the feelings. Anger is a feeling. Anger is our energy. The energy and feeling, then acting whatever something by them. So now try not the feeling, or try to free from the feeling is zopa. Try not to involve that feeling is zopa. Be aware to getting into that feeling is also zopa. So zopa is your best friend or protector. If you even just remember zopa, and plus if you saying zopa, is really, as we call the armor. Zopi gocha means, gocha means like armor of the warrior. That the armor have, the anger doesn't go through. Protection. You need a protection. What is the protection is? Zopa. Many people, when I've been teaching, and they told me, they always like a recitation mantra. Everything they upset, say zopa, zopa, zopa. Yeah, I'm aware, zopa. And with the zopa, then what you to use with the whole, be mindful is mantras, breath, or yourself singing, or focusing, visualizing, visualizations. Those are very important. Okay, so that's one thing. And then another thing I think very important to remember is compassion for others. Meaning is, now somebody maybe try to hurt you with intention or without intention, whatever, and that person, maybe I'm not aware of what hurting you, or maybe just that person is cut or up like you do anger. It's completely resentment and hurt so bad inside. And so what they can do is they don't know, but if that, for example, if this person hurt this person and this person is very angry at this person, but they're not very aware after a long time. So what they're doing is this person is reacting, this person may be gone or died, or maybe far away, cannot do anything. This person, so holding this feeling, can put anybody, maybe on you. So what the person doing to you, even though this person doesn't want to hurt you, but just the way talking, whatever, is like a really mighty focus on you to hurt, but actually it's not. So that's the way you have to remember, maybe as a compassion, maybe that person have anger or whatever hurt feelings by someone else, maybe long time ago, whatever, or unhappy inside. So that's why I know, I'm aware. So your responsibility is as a compassion. Don't try to react and try to hurt back. Be aware and compassion. So this also that's also one way very important. Maybe I want to talk a little bit more about that. Usually, let's say this is you, this is a person who angry, and this person who got hurt, right? So what do we do is, every time this person try to hurt you with intention, without intention, what you do is, whatever they do, something angry at you, you react back right away. That's just nature we do. Now zopa practice is not that. Zopa practice is, this person try to offering you her anger. So now you have choice. Whatever intention doesn't matter. You have choice. Would you accept that anger, or would you not accept that anger? So if you accept, so what do you do is, right away your anger react back. If this person is shouting at you, you shouting back, you accept and you take it. Or you have choice, say, no, I don't want to accept that anger. So whatever that person is saying to you, their feeling, you don't have to feel that person's feeling. You don't have to say what that person is saying. You don't have to act what that person acting to you. That meaning is, you are not accepting, you are not taking that anger into you. Whatever that feeling is, this person's responsibility. Whatever you want to feel is your responsibility. It's up to you. Do you understand what I mean? That is very, very important. we have been reacting, accepting all the time anger. But something good things offering teachings or something, people having hard time accept. So much skeptical. But anger, no problem. I accept right away. Why? Maybe that you have problems, so you have to work in. Okay? So try to, basically it's the simplified is be aware. Every time you feel hurt or upset, be aware. And then acknowledge that and then move on and focus something else that brings you more peaceful, more compassionate. Focus more that spend than your anger at. Usually anger at has three also. Could it be living beings? Could it be event? Could it be stuff? Stuff means your anger may be at the table or either camera, sometimes camera doesn't work. Whatever something, or the person, or animal, I don't know, we don't know, but basically three things. Whatever anger at, be aware, and then avoid from that. And then what is most brings for your peace, and spend time with that. Include the breathing exercise, or mantras. So anyway, I wish my best. All this information, I believe, to help you, and then through you helping spontaneously around you that you most love and care. And start as helping is not somebody else, start as from you. From today, you, me, start to practice this information to benefit for all beings. Okay? Thank you for listening. Gozun tabi gya kanjiba gozun sujana jidon domo tun sabele rukujane gozun tabi sanji mirto sho.